So what is Big Write and VCOP? Well, it's changing the attitude towards writing to make it a positive experience for your students, to make sure that they're actually engaged in the process and excited about the process. When students finish Big Writes in our classrooms in that first year, they'd be asking to race around the school, to talk to the canteen lady, to talk to the office ladies, to talk to last year's teacher, to read out their work because they just wanted to share and celebrate with everyone. If you're running Big Write in your classroom more like a test, where they're not encouraged to participate and share and are not enthusiastic towards it, you need to change that approach. It's a celebration and it is their chance to celebrate. Of course, you'll collect a lot of data, but it's still their chance to celebrate. Again, I can't say it enough. If they can't say it, they can't write it. If they say, I done it, they write, I done it. If they say brang, they write brang. So you need to correct their speech and you need to give them opportunity to constantly use those speech elements. We take for granted the grammatical norms that are developed through speaking and listening strategies. So we need to make sure that there is ample opportunity for lots of talk to be happening. We need to encourage the students to be really ambitious and to up-level their work. They need to take responsibility of their work and actually think about what's the next step. So it's always, that's fantastic, I love that. What would you do to make it even better? What's your next step? And then teaching them how to self-assess, teaching them how to analyse their writing and to set those goals to improve the next time. When they do set those goals, fantastic, what a fantastic goal. Can you go back and practice on this piece where you notice the goal is most prominent? And next time we'll be practicing all next week so that next week in your Big Write, you'll be able to do that independently. So it's not only about setting the goals, it's ample opportunity to practice and reinforce those goals and experiences. We need to embed that learning and raise the standard, and that's only going to happen if you are modeling the interaction in the classroom. So if you want them to be using this high-level language, you need to be using it yourself. And again, you need to make sure you're giving the definitions as well. Even if you think about a maths response, when they move into the grade 3 classroom, we now call it addition. Okay, guys, we're going to be doing addition now. Last year, that might have been plus. It's adding things together. So we're going to be doing our addition now. You guys ready? I've not only told them the higher level language, the synonym, but I've also given them those definitions so no one is confused and we can get started straight away. What does VCOP stand for? Okay, so first of all, vocabulary. You might have heard wow words. We are talking about words or phrases that when a child of that particular mental age uses, we're excited about. I love to use that word. What a great word. What a great way of saying it. Did you know that's a wow word? If you use it in your writing, I would be very impressed. So wow words don't have to start from the writing experience. Most cases, they'll start from the oral language experience. The child will say it. And then they'll start looking for it because they start to understand what we are actually excited about. So they'll start looking in books, they'll listen to the people around them talking, start bringing you more and more language. And then eventually they'll start putting it down on their paper. As we move through the school, we tend to move away from wow words and into ambitious language. And that's when you start bringing into place figurative language, metaphors and similes and things like that. Then we have connectives. Now, this is the hardest for children to learn and the hardest for teachers to teach. Go back to basics. First of all, connectives fall under, it creates an umbrella. Conjunctions are the first part of that. Conjunction is a word or clause that joins, a word that joins two clauses together to make a compound or complex sentence. That's your first point of call. If you're looking up a definition, look for conjunctions first. Then you need to build upon that. The connectives fall under a little bit of a bigger banner. We're now looking at also including ideas and phrases that join paragraphs together, join sentences and ideas together to create flow within our piece. So start with conjunctions, build up to the connectives, which adds a few more into it. If you're looking for a good definition, I like Homeschool Run website for a definition. Openers. We are talking our sizzling starts if you're 7 steps trained. We're talking about engaging the reader right from the get-go, drawing them in. You need to make sure not only with your engaging start, you actually create a captivating conclusion. And that is the fault of the teacher in most cases. Giving them only a minute left means they're going to result in, I woke up and it was a dream, chapter 1, the end, ... You need to make sure you give them the ample time in the classroom. That might mean setting up a little timer or a chime to go off because you know you're going to get stuck with particular students where you're working with them. So if that timer goes off, it lets everybody know there's 5-6 minutes left to start summing up and creating that conclusion. Also thinking about, at a basic level, we're talking about our sentence openers as well, because we're all sick of and then, when they get a bit better, so then. So we need to vary our sentence openers. And I'll be playing a game with Jazz to show how easy that can be. And punctuation, this is now using punctuation to emphasize, to add expression to your work. So we ask for grammatically correct punctuation to make sure it makes sense, but the VCOP punctuation is put in for a purpose. So I'm putting in an exclamation mark to emphasize, I'm putting in brackets to add an aside of information, I'm putting in a question to add anxiety or interest to the reader.